show with Dr. Michael Lyon telling us how to be hunger-free forever. Now, the very first thing we want to talk about in this segment is there is a huge myth out there. Some people say, they don't want to accept responsibility for their overweight. So they say, well, it's not my fault. I just have a really slow metabolism.
Yeah, well, that's not true, actually. Very occasionally it is. Say women around menopause or after who have never really done much exercise can have very low muscle mass. We measure metabolism in all our patients, so we know what their resting metabolic rate is. But except for that sort of one group of people, low muscle mass, older women, mostly people with weight problems actually have higher metabolism than normal.
Really?
Exactly true. And when we find this when we actually measure it, we can find very high metabolism actually in some very overweight people.
So it's just an excuse, and you often hear people who are quite overweight saying, I can't help it, but really what you're saying is it's just you're eating more than you're expending energy.
Yeah. Not everybody with a weight problem is a binge eater who eats massive amounts of food in one sitting. But most people with weight problems kind of nibble their way through the evening, for instance, and they have a lot of mindless eating. That means that they eat a certain amount of food that they don't even really register in their memory, and their calories are sort of packing on their body, but they're not really thinking about the things they're eating. They sort of nibble away a lot of their extra calories.
Okay. Now, a lot of cravings come from, we talked about the glycemic index, we talked about sugar levels and everything else. The craving for something sweet, the craving for sugar as well is a biggie. How do we overcome that?
Well, the brain is programmed to prevent you from becoming seriously hypoglycemic. If blood sugar is rapidly dropping, the body will release certain hormones that stimulate the liver to release sugar. There's things that will make you feel hungry, and so on. And so in our research, when we found people's blood sugar drops dozens and dozens of times a day, it triggers dozens of inappropriate feelings to eat. If you use willpower to avoid eating on those occasions, and you finally get home from work, for instance, your brain will require that you pay back all those calories you didn't eat with interest. So that's where a lot of people trip up as they come home. The eating, official eating really begins at about 6 p.m. Doesn't finish till bedtime.
Okay. And there has been a new discovery, and it's called PGX. What is this, and how does it affect us?
Right. PGX stands for polyglycoplex. It's a polysaccharide. It's a naturally derived soluble fiber complex that was developed at University of Toronto. We started studying this in our weight loss patients when we were using this device, the continuous glucose monitoring system. We found that we could take people on the blood sugar roller coaster, and by having them take this PGX with every meal, it caused blood sugar to completely level off. Basically got them off the blood sugar roller coaster, and with that, their appetite went down dramatically.
Okay, it sounds like a chemical. It sounds like a supplement. It sounds like one of the things that you find out 10 years later and gives everyone heart attacks and is really going to get yanked off the shelves.
Not in this case. It's actually completely natural fiber. Even though it behaves like a super fiber, something beyond any single fiber, it actually has the safety of fiber and is used by your body just like a fiber. So it's actually good for you. You could take it every day without any ill effects.
Can you get a similar effect just by eating fibrous foods?
You can get some of those effects by eating high fiber foods, but you really do have to eat a lot of fiber to get that full effect. When we were giving our obese subjects PGX, we were giving them about 5 grams 3 times a day. That would be equivalent to taking maybe 75 to 100 grams of other forms of fiber, which would be pretty tough to do.
Pretty tough. We've got some befores and afters that you brought in, so Lee will get that up on the computer right now. And I guess what the whole thing is we just need to be educated as to how to control these cravings, and we need to have enough discipline or enough want to lead a healthier lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
All right, do we have those pictures ready? Getting a resounding silence. We'll keep talking until we see them. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah, so this is a fellow who came in, a typical guy, doesn't really want to do much to lose weight, but he came in sort of, his wife dragged him by the ear. He said, I'd do it. We started him on this PGX with every meal, taught him how to eat to achieve and maintain satiety, or that feeling of fullness. And you can see his blood sugar before. If you look at the squiggly lines, that's 2 days in a row of his blood sugar being measured continuously. And then if you look at what happens a few weeks later, the next picture shows him and his blood sugar, and he lost, weight just basically melted off this guy.
And what period of time was this?
This was 12 weeks later. It was a 12-week community weight loss program we put on for a few hundred people in the community. You can see his blood sugar line is now completely level. And so basically we've learned that once you can get people off that blood sugar roller coaster, stabilize their blood sugar, their appetite goes down dramatically.
That is just incredible. Well, we have one free copy of this book to give away. Thank you for bringing it in. It's called Hunger Free Forever. 412-2790, 412-2790. Very first caller through this book can be yours, and of course the book is also available in good bookstores everywhere. Thank you very much, Dr. Michael Lyon, for being here today and talking us through it. We want to live our best, healthiest life we can, and you're giving us some of the tools. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
All right, let's go back out now. Bridget is at the Shelley Dance Company, so let's check in with her right now.